Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rooftop Rendezvous, coming to you live from Fort Lauderdale Beach on this little bit of windy Wednesday afternoon. We are going to be taking you inside, though, and we are going inside for a very special reason, and that's because, well, we are here to meet with Tim and Joe, the owners of the World Famous Parrot Lounge. This weekend is the big weekend. It is their 50th anniversary, and we are going to get the inside scoop from these two gentlemen that have been here about as long as these doors have opened up. Really quite exciting. We hope that if you are in town, you will come by and celebrate this milestone anniversary event with them here, officially on Saturday because that is the birthday, but all weekend long you can come in because you know that it's going to be a bigger party on Sunday when those eagles start flying, baby fly, on that TV, watching that game. Well, we are going to take just a little look around. I'm sure a lot of you, if you have come to Fort Lauderdale, well, then you have definitely been in this spot. And well, there are so many memories to go around. You can see Marilyn back there, all dressed up in her holiday glitter. And the same atmosphere that you have come to enjoy, this great neighborhood bar here in our neighborhood, right here on Fort Lauderdale Beach. We're going to talk with the two guys in just a second, but we're going to take you down a little bit of memory lane with all of these fantastic photos that you can see on the wall, capturing 50 years of history right here. And of course, we are going to get to it in just a second, but a reminder. On behalf of our Fort Lauderdale Beach business community, however, we do want to welcome you. We do this once a week, every Wednesday afternoon, to give you a little taste of our backyard here on Fort Lauderdale Beach. And well, with the celebration this weekend, we certainly didn't want to miss that opportunity to take a little step back in history. If you see yourself up on the wall in any of these photos, give a shout out. And while you are watching, please do let us know where you are checking in from. We will certainly reply. And hey, if you are a parrot fan, give us a little thumbs up. We are ready to go, though, with the two men of the hour. I'm going to take my seat. We've got Joe and Tim, and I think I think we're 6 feet away from one another that we need to be safe. Okay. Well, I know my legs. I think we are 6 feet of my feet. No, but that is the one reason why we are face coveringless, because we've decided that we are all going to stay away. But I do see everybody's got their gaiters around there. So I guess the first thing, congratulations. This is definitely a huge milestone and something for the two of you to be so proud of.
We are.
You know, we're not going to talk about businesses coming and going, but truthfully, businesses that can stand this test of time and actually still keep evolving with the times as they go through. It is. It really is. And you're in a destination of Fort Lauderdale and the beaches, you know, that is equally as so. And we've seen so much happening over the 50 years that you've been. 1970.
Time flies, as they say.
Yes, it does.
Like yesterday.
I was just a baby. So it does seem like yesterday, but those memories are probably still so vivid, and I'm sure that there are just thousands upon thousands.
Good ones and bad ones, right?
Yeah, and the ones that you can't tell live either. But we'd love for you both to just share with us what this milestone means to you.
He's the older guy. He can go
Okay, age before beauty.
You know, it's an unplanned, beautiful occasion. You know, Joe, like myself, came to work here with William Boyd, the original founder, had it. It was the early 70s. We had just come off of Woodstock. The country was full of money, full of opportunity. South Florida was basically a pioneer town. And to be part of that and ride that wave and be living at a time when the the United States of America was just one great big family picnic, and hold on to that thought. And Joe, myself, and the rest of the staff throughout the years have held that warm and wonderful feeling here, and we will continue to do so. It's a great feeling, but it was done really unconsciously, literally, in many years. I got a couple decades where I probably couldn't pronounce my last name. I spelt it wrong.
It is a little difficult to pronounce,
yeah.
even if you can.
Well, it's even more difficult when you have enough booze in you. But in any event, it's been a great ride. It's going to continue to be a good ride, and we're extremely grateful to the staff, the customers, and of course to each other.
Yes, and you came in just really shortly after Tim got here, so the two of you have rode this.
In 1973, the Parrot opened in 1970. A gentleman named Billy Boyd opened it, and I'm sure when he opened it, he was not thinking 50 years down the road.
Yeah.
Tim got here in 1973. I did not know any of these gentlemen. I was living in Philadelphia, spending my summers in Wildwood, New Jersey, doing this shore thing. It was a great deal up there. It was a lot of fun. And after the summer of '77, a bunch of us got together, and one of our friends suggested we head south to Fort Lauderdale, and I didn't know anything about Fort Lauderdale. I threw my clothes in a brown paper bag, thinking I might be coming down here for 2 weeks. And here we are, 2020.
Yeah.
First bar I walked into.
Wow.
Very first place
Really?
I walked into, it was what a coincidence. The bartender, his name was Moose at the time. We became very good friends with him over the years.
Yeah.
He was such a character that it wasn't, hey, how you doing? Like, what would you like when you drink? I think he said something very sarcastic to me right off the bat. Which, being from the Northeast, I figured I love this, but he's off the bat. We started hanging out here, me and my buddies. I got a job across the street at a place called Village Zoo at the time. So I was here 7 days a week. And in October 1978, when the 8th anniversary was coming up, Tim had known us so well by then, he needed some help with barbacks on the door. And he said, listen, Joe, why don't you just get, he goes, back then the bartenders were allowed to drink. Things were different in the 70s. And he goes, you're here every night spending money. He goes, why don't you work here, get paid for it, and you still drink. And I thought, what a great idea this is. I'm in heaven.
That's a perk on the house that you don't always hear.
In a lot of things in life, you don't plan so far down the road thinking what's going to be. But as you get more and more into it, you realize how special things can be. And the Parrot was so much fun to me and my friends and customers we got to meet, and it became an institution for us. So we got committed to say, we're going to make this thing work. We're going to extend it. And then the 10th anniversary came, the 20th anniversary came, and then you're looking at things saying, well, I got to keep this going. So then the 30th, the 40th, and now we are at 50th.
And the 50th.
So we're very prideful, and I have to tell the people when I have a chance that the customers are very special, but the staff have become such close friends over those years, and I can never say enough about how much they've done for this place.
Yeah. Well, you brought that up, and you've kind of alluded to it a few times, that it's like family. You know, when you walk in and you've been here for so long, everybody is kind of like family. We were talking earlier, and I know you had mentioned, and you know, just as a reference point, I've even said it feels like Cheers, just that place where everybody knows your name, and not to compare you to a TV show, but just the feeling.
We got that for a long time when Cheers was on TV. People say, oh, this reminds us of Cheers. And again, we're from the Northeast, so Boston's in the Northeast corridor and other things like that. So we get a good fair amount of business to come off the Northeast because of 95. So when people will look at those type of establishments and say, that reminds me of my neighborhood bar, which we both grew up with when we were younger kids up there. So.
And this really is the neighborhood bar, because you know, Fort Lauderdale Beach is just this 3-mile long stretch of ocean front, but you're tucked in the back. It really is like this little neighborhood back here off of Sunrise Lane. So, you know, you're a place where people seek you out because you're not just off the main drag. And that's really something special and something to say too, in a destination that's now becoming like little neighborhoods where everybody's seeking out these neighborhoods. You've been that way.
I told the staff over the years, I said, listen, somebody's getting in their car. They're driving probably about past another 100 bars or restaurants. They're coming here, they're crossing the bridge, and they're putting money in a meter to walk in our door. That's a compliment to us. And we need to make sure we thank them for what they're doing. Yes, we do get our tourist business, obviously being on Fort Lauderdale Beach, but a majority of our business throughout the year, what sustains us through the summertime especially, is the locals, and those people go out of their way to come here.
Yeah.
We
And-
appreciate that very much.
And you really have become a place for the locals, and not just for your patrons and those that come here, but how tied you are to our community and your community involvement. And that, as much as you are doing as a restaurant and as a bar and as a place for people to come out, what you do outside your doors is wonderful. And it really kind of speaks a lot to both of you. And you've started some new initiatives, but being a part of your community is not new for you.
For us, no, we've always been involved in the community, and we've watched commissioners come and go, mayors come and go, governments change, even federal governments change, and we still are committed to what we're going to do. And we have butted heads with people trying to do certain things over the years, but then we can be stubborn in a certain way.
No.
Because we believe in it, and we're going to stick by those. We stick by your guns, as they say. So yes, we will keep getting ourselves involved in community services, no matter people like it or not.
Yeah.
One of the things we're trying to do right now is we're just asking people to change the name of the street for us. It's not a major change, but it's a nice compliment to us, and that's something we're going to pursue. Because we feel that it should be called Parrot Place outside of our door.
Oh, I love that. I will sign that petition. I would be right there. I would be right there with you on that. Tell our mayor and commissioner. Everybody that's watching, whether you live here or not.
Before I forget, now Joe's latest project was the ocean-friendly products that he carries here. He could tell you more about that, because I forget the name of the endorsement that he got, but he took a very big step a couple of years ago when other restaurants were thinking it was unaffordable or it didn't make sense, but why don't you tell them about that? It's important.
2017, we just got tired of watching certain videos, reading articles about mammals dying in the ocean, swallowing tons of garbage bags of trash. And we looked around and said, listen, this is Fort Lauderdale. I mean, this is a major hub for people coming here. They come here because of the ocean. They've always have come here because of the sunny ocean. So we said, somebody's got to start taking a lead on this. So we started calling around. We found Surf Ladder. We found a wonderful woman, Kat Uden from Oceana, and she set us on the right path. We started collecting knowledge. It wasn't that easy at first to go non-plastic. Again, we were committed to it. So we were going online, calling places, trying to get it sent down here because local companies were not selling paper products back then. And it's not that long ago, it's just 2017. But again, one day I walked in one day and I told everybody to throw every piece of plastic away. They thought it was a little crazy. Cups, straws, to-go boxes, because we were going to say this is what we're doing moving forward. So we started that. That was the first initiative. Then we started looking at the ocean, the beaches in the morning time. And as much as the city tries to pick things up, they pick up the large garbage. But if you walk along, you see a bunch of small pieces of plastic on the sand. So we said, let's do beach cleanups. So we started that. We do it once a month. Our next initiative, and the virus held us up a little bit on this, is to have stands on every entrance to the beach that will have ocean-friendly sunscreen. There's a company called Raw Elements. It was started by a gentleman up in New Hampshire, an ex-lifeguard, and he's doing it in Hawaii and a couple other states right now, that we will help hopefully get other restaurants and other hotels to sponsor these stands. As you walk onto the beach, there will be a little dispenser there. You get your sunscreen from that, and it's environmentally safe for the ocean. That is our next goal. And after we do that, we'll move on.
You're going to find something else.
We will keep moving on, and we ask people to help us with this. This is a very important thing. This is not an overnight cleanup as you will see on YouTube or in the news. This is going to take decades. And since we've been around 5 decades, what the heck's another 2 more decades?
There you go. Or 5.
Yeah, so 5 more decades.
You know,
hopefully when somebody's talking about the 100th anniversary,
there you go.
How, this thing was started so many years ago, and we got a nice clean ocean out there.
And we saw your son in the other room, and Tim was telling me the great story about how he was 1 year old when you added on this.
No, he was actually born.
He was born when you opened up this room. Wow. Wow. So lots of history. Lots of history.
I'm looking for the lady that refused to have her party here. She booked her birthday party, and Joe told her there was no plastic. She showed up with all her plastic straws. And he told her she couldn't use them because they would be disposed in an improper way. And she walked out of here and said, I'm taking my business somewhere else. Thank goodness she walked across the street to the hotel. It was just going plastic free. and they told her she couldn't go there either. So wherever you are, lady, thank you very much for not complying and getting us all fired up and making us work that much harder. Thank you.
Well, the two of you, I'm sure you've got tons of stories to talk about that with this, with your new initiatives. Is there any? I mean, you've got hundreds of photos around the place. Is there one? If I was to like point on a photo, would you be able to
Pour a couple beers.
wear this? We'll go through the stories.
The day listen, celebrities that walked in here. The day Temptations came in, we were all dancing behind the bar with the Temps.
Oh my
Al
gosh!
Green came in, was singing all the songs in front of our jukebox.
When I first started here, like I said, I just turned 21 and I was just starting a bar back. And they told me, Billy Boy, the original owner, he said, Joe, someday he's going to walk up and hand you the keys to his car. Just prepare it. So I'm standing at the door one day, he walks up and hey, kid, and here's my keys. Now you got, if you know Billy, he's the big jaw,
yeah,
big guy. We're going for a ride. And had a Lincoln Continental. They didn't Lincoln Continental. So go, let's go for a ride. Now I did a few rides, but this is one particular ride that's fine. And so we go to this hotel, and this guy comes walking out, and it's Red Fox, the actor, the comedian. Now, I had just grown up, I mean, when I was younger, I knew Sanford & Sons, and he was the guy. Well, he was doing a comedy act at Mr. Laughs that night, so I was driving around all day, and we went to Mr. Laughs at 3 o'clock in the morning, does his show. And I didn't know he was a complete different Red Fox. He turned into Richard Pryor.
Triple X rated.
And I'm like that, my eyes were just popping my head. And I said, okay, I'm not, I'm not...
You're not in Kansas anymore.
Nope.
I always remember that little story.
Yeah, there's a million, zillion stories. If you throw in the years that we had motorcycle gangs in here in the summer, college kids in the winter, movie stars, actors that were just told to leave, they thought they were special, they had to get brought back to reality. It just has been nothing but a really good time. The ingredients have been the same since we opened the front door. It's so nice to be able to watch the world all come back to square one when we've been standing on square one for 50 years.
Yeah. Well, I know one square that you're not going to go back to, and every time I mention the Parrot Lounge, my husband always says, "I remember those 7 beers for $1."
Oh yeah.
That would be a great throwback party.
No,
wink, wink.
The secret of those beers was the bartenders never washed the glass.
Okay.
So in this day and age with everything going on, I don't think us not washing glasses would go over
Probably not go
and it was
so
the
well.
cheapest beer you could find it.
And it was warm.
Yeah.
And it was
It was like baby bath.
Okay.
That came from a bar called the Shamrock in Marlin, New Jersey, where Billy used to work at. And after Billy moved down here, I was going to the Shamrock, and one of those nights I drank some of those beers, and the next day I felt it, and I never drank another one again because it's not the most sanitary stuff.
Well, one thing that you will be pouring, if it's not those 7 beers for $1, is we're looking at the big poster behind you. Winwood Brewing created a beer for you for your 50th anniversary.
We approached each other. Basically, we have a good relationship with them, and they a year ago said, "Listen, can we do something for your 50th anniversary? We'd like to make a special beer for you." So it's an apricot flavored beer. They tried different flavors, and they felt that this was the best. So we are actually today. We just received it, so we'll start pouring it today. It's a special beer. You can't get this beer anywhere else.
No,
we're not taking somebody else's beer and putting a name on it. This is actually a one-of-a-kind beer.
This is your beer.
We will have these kegs hopefully for the next couple of months so people could try out. And it's our 50th anniversary.
That's
just gone, it's gone. Maybe next year will be the 51st, but
okay.
this is our 50th anniversary.
It's the limited edition
Very
beer.
limited edition, yes.
So tomorrow, November, or I should say Saturday, because none of us remember what day it is anymore. So Saturday is like the official 50th anniversary, but you're just welcoming people to come in here all weekend long,
Yes.
all week long, all month long, until your 51st anniversary, any day of the year. But really over this weekend, raise a glass to you guys, reconnect with some good friends, just have a great time.
It's going to be like a large family or high school reunion. We don't have a lot of fireworks planned. We never did from the beginning, and even after COVID-19 came in, that had put some restrictions on our capabilities.
Sure.
But that's okay because we're turning 50 years old regardless of what the rest of the world is doing.
Right.
2020 has some things that have made a lot of people sad or unhappy, but for us, 2020 means 50 years of business, 50 years of success, and it means the world to us. It means the World Famous Parrot to us.
Ah.
It's also a compliment to, again, all the staff members that work here. The guys who are no longer living, sad to say that.
Yeah.
Bartender got me here to stay here in the 70s. I could have walked out of this place after one drink and said, oh, I'm going to go to the next place. But the guy Moose kept me here.
Yeah.
And look where we are now, in 2020. So it's a compliment to our customers and our staff with this party. And that's the way we want to approach it. We just want to let people know that it's a thank you to everybody that got us here.
Well, I think on behalf of our business community here, and again, want to thank everybody for tuning in today here on MyFortLauderdaleBeach.com. We just want to thank you because what you contribute not only as a business, but both of you within our community. Tim, we're on several boards together. We do a number of things together. Joe, everything that you're doing for the environment, to be part of the community, and really just this warm, welcoming place that you give people that they can come in any day of the week, whether they are an Eagles fan on Sunday and are rooting for your team or not. But when they walk in here, you give them some time to just step out of themselves and be part of something bigger, and that is really it's beautiful.
And after we celebrate our 50th, we're going back to work and start
Yes.
on the next one. We'll find more. We will never stop trying to make things better for us and for the community.
Okay.
And that's our goal. We're just going to keep it forward. That's the excitement of being in this business. It gives us the flexibility to keep moving forward. And that's our goal. That's what we're going.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you both, Joe, Tim, for being here for this. We've got tons of comments, lots of watchers. So we just want to remind everybody, come on out this weekend. Celebrate this wonderful anniversary and celebration. I wish we had a beer that we could cheers with, but we'll go grab one afterwards. And the kitchen's open, so you've got tons of food for all of you to enjoy. Obviously, your big famous Philly cheesesteaks, and we're sure hoping that next year we get to celebrate big time with, we will.
We've gotten to something. We'll get to this.
Yeah.
We'll make the best of it.
Yeah.
It's not our first day in the woods.
No, it's not. And after 50, we're going to hope for 50 more. Well, we're going to say thank you again. We're going to take you through some of these photos as we make our way out, everybody. And again, if you are in town this weekend, please stop by the Parrot Lounge and buy a beer for Tim and Joe. Don't make them buy their own beer. And come celebrate. And if you cannot be in town, because we know that there are fans from all over the globe of the Parrot, if you are watching this and you are checking in, well, then you want to know, drop them a line on their Facebook page, ring up that phone, give them a call and say congratulations. Come in here, grab your photo, send it by. You certainly, who knows, maybe you will be on this wall of fame or one of the other walls that isn't as full of photos, and there's still a little crack left open for you. But on behalf of our business community here, thank you again for tuning in and joining us. Parrot Lounge, 50 years old, this Saturday. Come and celebrate. Have a great day, everybody. Wonderful weekend. And we will see you next Wednesday from another destination here on Fort Lauderdale Beach.